Ed, you are muted. You've been muted the whole time, but I figured you'd bring me in and I would just let you know.
Thank you very much.
So, welcome to Seahawk Talk, everybody.
Here we are!
Andrew Pizzelli alongside Ed Habershaw.
Yeah, so the music was heard then, right?
Yep.
Because that's on a different machine. Well, here we are. Seahawk Talk. Cinco de Mayo! I don't know if you could read lips.
Have you already started celebrating it? Is that why you couldn't get the music up?
Not yet. Celebration will occur afterwards, after today's show. I know Ben & Jerry's usually has some promotion around this time of year as well, because don't they celebrate an anniversary? And there's free ice cream. I'm not sure.
Ben & Jerry's was just recently on the campus of Salve Regina, by the way.
Yeah,
a couple of weeks ago they had, or a couple could have been last week. It could have been a month ago. I don't know. Time is just weird. But Ben & Jerry's recently was at Salve, right outside of Garrity Hall.
Time flies like the Seahawks fly, and want to say hello to Deb Garrity in Jacksonville, Florida. Good to have you on today's show. We are going to let everybody know that we'd like them to keep their distance. And am I muted now?
No, you're good.
Okay.
We hear you. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now. Let us, go this way, and then also bring in our producer, Gavin Parent, who is always busy behind the scenes, and then none more so than this weekend. Welcome, Gavin, into the show on screen. Tremendous job you did over the weekend. Andrew, as well, had a men's lacrosse game that we got to recognize some history in Salve Regina men's lacrosse.
Yeah, so you look at how Saturday went. If you just looked at the score of the game, you'd say, "Oh man, it was a tough day for Salve men's lacrosse." They lose 16-5 to Western New England, but they'll get to make amends tonight.
Hello, my name is Patrick.
Hawks fall to Western New England 16-5 in their regular season finale. But they'll play the Golden Bears. They knew. They were locked in to the 2nd and 3 seeds. It was just a matter of who was going to be the home team. It will be Western New England tonight, 7 o'clock, up in Springfield. Salve and the Golden Bears will have their rematch. But it was also senior day for Salve Regina, so it was really great that they got to honor their seniors, something that the women's lacrosse team didn't get to do with the game. The men's lacrosse team did. They had a very brief, they just kind of read off everybody's names, and they got to wave to the non-existent crowd. But to the viewing audience, they got to wave to the viewing audience. But then head coach Pat Cooney was great. He provided me with quotes on each of his guys to read. But I think the best are his, and then Amanda Karsten's as far as the quotes go. So yeah, we can run this little video here. These were pictures that Pat sent me as well to use. So this is sprinkled in throughout the years. There's seniors in there. There's some alumni already sprinkled into some of these photos. But this is from the class of 2021. This is what Coach Cooney had to say. The young men of the class of 2021 are an extraordinary group. Throughout their college days, they have helped the Salve lacrosse team get better on and off the field. They love each other like family and have competed well. True student athletes, they excel in all arenas. The entire coaching staff is proud of them. We look forward to hearing of all their future successes. And then I saved this one for the end because as we're wrapping up the game, and we'll get into it was a historic day for Pat Leary. We'll talk about that in a moment. But just to kind of have the perspective of the moment, which was that we never knew if this season was going to happen to begin with. And then a week ago, this past Saturday, the games, we were put on a pause. And so you didn't even know if you were going to have the games that you weren't even promised to begin with. So to be there just to be competing and being out there was a blessing. And kind of in that same tone, this is what Amanda Karsten had to say about this 12 seniors Some graduate student in there as well, Ethan Robson. Sure to be more grad students along the way, but this class is definitely one filled with kindness, friendship, dedication, diversity, leadership, and the willingness to conform to what was demanded of them. This class faced temperature checks, screenings, 6 feet of distancing, and masks just to play a sport one more time, a sport that they love. This class faced the unknown if there will be a game tomorrow, with smiles on their faces and the thought of family on their mind. To the class of 2021, thank you for allowing me to face all these new challenges, changes, and adventures with you, and always remember you come in as strangers, but you leave as a Seahawk family. Perfect words
Really
from
nice.
Amanda. And I hadn't thought to solicit thoughts from her. Wisely, Pat did, because who knows the team better? Somebody who is literally with them, also in the trenches, each and every day, knows these guys in and out. What ails them physically, mentally, everything. The trainer is there for all of it, and that kind of goes under the radar a lot. So having Amanda kind of have the last word on senior day, I thought was perfect.
And a shout out to Amanda and all of our athletic trainers, David Cox, Emily Miller, and Rebecca Ramirez McKinley, because, like you said, they're in the trenches, behind the scenes, in the athletic training center, helping prepare the athletes for competition and or practice on the field or on the court. And then in game situations, whatever pops up there, they're ready to handle.
Yeah. And so, as I had said, it was a historic day as well. We knew coming into the previous home game, which I think was on April 21st, we knew that Salve men's lacrosse, Pat Leary was 6 goals away from the all-time scoring record, and he scored 5 in that game. We're like, he's going to break the record on the road. The pause happens, and the next home game, or the next game, is a home game. So that set up this on this past Saturday.
Trying to feed it into the slot. Out onto the wing. I think that's Leary. Somehow that ball found Pat Leary, and that is how he becomes the program's all-time leader in goals scored.
So awesome. I mean, not exactly how you draw it up. It was a point pass that ricocheted off of Liam Cooney and then just bounced to Pat, who just said, why not? And wung it on the net. And if you watch that again, we don't need to hear it, but if you watch it again on the replay, I mean, the focus. I mean, that ball is bouncing, and he gathers it and throws it basically in one motion. I mean, that's
a bounce shot too, tough to stop. Yeah, it's a
tremendous amount of skill. So a great goal, historic goal for him. We all knew it was going to happen. You know, we were joking around with Rich Bernasconi, assistant coach, and I was like, Pat's going to get this record today, right? He's like, odds are good, Andrew. Odds are good. Odds are good. So congratulations to Pat. And like I said, the Seahawks aren't done. They will travel up to Western New England tonight for the rematch with a little bit more at stake. Seahawks trying to advance their first ever Commonwealth Coast Conference Championship match. That will be against, I think it's Endicott and Roger Williams. I'll double check that. I believe they are in the other semifinal.
Curry, actually.
I can't remember.
I know Curry was right behind us as well.
It is Roger Williams, because Roger Williams won. Because Curry and Roger Williams were playing for the 4 spot.
Okay, they had the head-to-head to finish
it.
it.
Yep. So it's Roger Williams at Endicott and Salve at Western New England. So those are the 4 teams remaining. Championship will be this Saturday at the higher remaining seed. So, if Roger Williams wins and Salve wins, it's just championship weekend in Newport. So,
or in Rhode Island, anyway.
True.
Oh, yeah, actually, yeah, in Newport. We're going to come back. We're going to take a break right now and come back after hearing from Patrick Cooney.
Hello, my name is Patrick Cooney. I'm the head men's lacrosse coach at Salve Regina University. Entering 2021, I've been here 18 years in Newport, Rhode Island, and love every year of it. We have an outstanding men's lacrosse team consisting of 44 men. They're outstanding in the classroom and on the field. We're looking for outstanding men in the future. We often have an annual prospect day, and throughout the year we recruit throughout the Northeast. We look forward to seeing you on the road, and please let us know if you are playing at respective tournaments, club teams, and always we're looking for video, and most importantly, at the end of your junior year, we need to have your unofficial 9th through 11th grade transcript. Thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you to Patrick Cooney, and good luck to the Seahawks tonight up at Springfield, Massachusetts, playing Western New England. Now, Andrew, that game on Saturday, was that just a 2-goal game at halftime?
Yes, it was 5-3 at the half, or was it 5-2? Let me double check. I know it was low scoring. The game started out, the first 5-6 minutes was a rock fight. It had a playoff vibe to it. It was 2-2 at the end of one. It was 5-3 at halftime. Golden Bears had a really strong third, 4-0, and then Salve didn't get on the board again until midway through the fourth quarter, and it was a 7-2 frame for the Golden Bears in that one. So Western New England just kind of kept they found their offense. Salve never could, but hey, the reason why they'll have a chance tonight, even if the Golden Bears highest scoring team in the CCC, but Connor Cunningham made 27 saves and has the conference's best save percentage. When you've got a goalie who's on like that, you can win any game, especially if the offense can get into gear. Salve has a lot of weapons on offense. So that game, forget about it. It was regular season. Tonight's all that matters. So
That's a lot of
Seahawks have a great
saves
shot.
in a lacrosse game. 27 saves, that's tough to do.
Yeah.
That is. Especially a goalie that has very
Minimal
limited
padding.
equipment, compared to goalies in other sports.
Yeah.
So on to track and field. Our women's track and field team, coached by Matt Hurd, a great American who coaches great Americans. They competed this past Sunday, May 2, up at Portsmouth High School in the Commonwealth Coast Conference Track and Field Championships. It was both men's and women's teams present there. Salve only has the women's team currently. And Matt Hurd went up there with what you could argue is a skeleton crew. We got a nice photo set from Rob and Jen McGinnis. Rob is an assistant coach with the program, and Jen McGinnis, his wife, both outstanding photographers and both taking great photography here. Only 2 meets the entire year for women's track and field, and only 2 meets since 2019, since the entirety of 2020 was wiped out. So we're fortunate to have both Rob and Jen shooting pictures, whether it be cross country and or track and field. And then around those seasons, they're shooting ice hockey and basketball. But here we have track and field. And when I say skeleton crew, we were missing a lot of our distance runners from competition because of the pause academically at Salve. Many of those student athletes went home and did not return. So on Sunday, the Seahawks went with the folks that were there, the field event folks, throwers, jumpers, and some sprinters, and that's who they scored points with. So I want to give a lot of credit to the Seahawks for enduring over the last 2 years and getting in both competitions this year. 2 weeks ago up at Gordon College, and then this past weekend in the CCC Championships at Portsmouth High School, hosted by Roger Williams. And congratulations to the Hawks as well for winning their championship. I think they won it in both men's and women's finals. So super job by them hosting. The weather was gorgeous on Sunday. And I know Gavin and I were busy all weekend. But before we get to that, we'll take a break. And
I got one thing. If you want me to, I actually have a quote from Matt on not just this past weekend, but you could probably say the past 14 months. This quote would fit. This is Matt Hurd, the head coach of the women's track and field team, said, "As was the case with everyone this year, this season was epically difficult. We lost 7 weeks of practice, could only practice 4 days a week. We're dislodged from our winter practice area, and we're allowed on the track only twice a week. Through it all, our athletes were upbeat, worked hard, surmounted setbacks, and persevered as best they could. Wait till next year is the rallying cry now. Just can't wait. So,
Thank you for those words, and now we'll hear from his voice.
Hi, my name is Matt Hurd. I'm the women's track and field coach. This is my 16th year as the coach, and I have to tell you that I wouldn't have lasted 16 years if I didn't love this place and love the students we have. And as I say, it is a joy to go to practice every single day. Require people say, you know, what do I have to do to be on the track and field team? And what I say is 3 things. First of all, you have to love your sport. And secondly, you have to do everything that you can to make yourself better and by extension make the team better. And thirdly, you have to be a good athletic citizen. Talent is not a requirement. We have had people who are really quick, and we have people who I say are great people. They bring things to the team that are special to them and which enhance the overall culture of the team and what we're trying to do and what we're trying to represent. And I tell you, that's all we have, really, are good athletic citizens, people who love their sport, and that's what makes it so much fun to coach them.
Speaking of good athletic citizens, there are none better than Matt Hurd.
I miss having proportionally the amount of Matt time that I've gotten in the last 14 months is minuscule. It's like 5 minutes every now and again on SeahawkTalk, or if I were passing each other on campus now for something, compared to the hours of let's go grab lunch or working at a soccer game and chatting, you know. So, it's the case with everybody. I mean, we barely seeing anybody, but yeah, Matt Hurd.
And in that same model of good Seahawks, we've had the good fortune, both Andrew and I have had the good fortune of joining Jonathan Lynch in a press box covering South Virginia baseball. And I want to bring you one of his calls. He had many calls on Saturday. I want to bring you this call, which was the biggest hit from the final game on Sunday.
As that ball's going to be lifted into deep left field. Back at the wall, it's going to be gone! Tyler Canoe lifts a home run for South Virginia University, have had their lead.
Tyler Canoe from Schenectady, New York. What a great place. It's very fond in my heart. And we had somebody else making an outstanding call. But before we go to that call, let us show you the distance that ball traveled on the bat of Tyler Canoe from Schenectady, New York. It went far, folks. It went very far. I'm going to say over 380 feet.
We'll give him the extra 2 feet.
But we did something unique on Saturday and Sunday. We had simulcasting going on. From our vantage point out on the donkey out in center field, we had 2 cameras set up, zooming in to the pitcher-batter matchup, and then we could cut or any kind of transition, dissolve, flash, slide, and go to our wider angled camera for panning. You know, when a ball's hit to the outfield, right field for Matt D'Amato, and I'm going to my left because that's how I was looking at it, or to right field for Jared Beniers, and then sometimes Dylan Ketch. Right in front of us was Zach Barlock. He'll show up on a couple of our highlights later. But from behind the backstop, we got to have Gavin Parent on the call both Saturday and Sunday games. His Saturday game 1 call was the call that was going out to everybody, 3 destinations, because we were having some network issues initially from the outfield. So John and I recorded his broadcast from the center field location, and we went live streaming with Gavin to Facebook, Twitch, and Salve Baseball YouTube. And he had a tremendous audience following there. A lot of great interaction through the social media platforms that he was on. And it was great that he got a third game to do. So he split the first 2 games, or Salve Baseball split the first 2 games, 9-5 win in the opener, and then a 12-4 loss in the nightcap on Saturday. That brings us to Sunday, and the same Grand Slam home run that you saw Tyler Canoe from Schenectady, New York hit with John's call, here it is with Gavin's call.
It'll be number 10, Anthony Sapienza, who relieves Flynn, the 5'9" junior from North Andover, Massachusetts. Comes into a tough situation with bases loaded. There are 2 outs. Faces the 6'5" Canoe at the plate. He looks at the first pitch. He drills it to the outfield. That's going to be a grand slam! Canoe hits a grand slam on the first pitch he sees. A full-run blast over the 360 fence in left field. It's going to be a 12-3 lead now for Salve. The first pitch he sees from Sapienza, he goes yard. Grand slam at Reynolds Field in Newport, Rhode Island, number 19 Canoe. And Salve has a hefty 12-3 lead now. The first pitch he sees from the new pitcher clears the fence by at least 10 feet, reading 365 out there, puts it into the bullpen. Salve now a 9-run lead in the bottom of the 6th inning, broke this game wide open.
So well done by Tyler Canoe, and well done by Gavin Parent.
Thank you. I had the people around me kind of breaking their necks, looking at me as I started screaming out of nowhere.
Love that enthusiasm.
They're like, who is this guy screaming at me right now? I'm like, I'm not screaming at you. The kid hit a grand slam.
I know. It's not every day that somebody hits a grand slam. And love that you got that energy out there. And it was well-deserved for that moment. And as you said, it really put the game out of reach.
I was following that game, and because I was helping out some family. And I'm looking at the score, 2-0 Roger Williams. Oh, Salve tied it. Oh, they took a 1-run lead. And then I go do some more work, and I come back, and I see 12-5. I'm like, what happened? So then I went back and got to rewatch all of that.
Yeah, they scored
stream.
7 runs in that bottom half of the inning with the grand slam, and then 3 more before that. So just put the game out of reach pretty much.
Unreal.
And I want to give a plug-in. I want to give a plug-in for StreamYard. Because of StreamYard, which is how we're broadcasting SeahawkTalk to multiple platforms, Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube, the Salve Athletics channel for YouTube. We utilize that on Saturday and Sunday. And Gavin's cameras were hooked up to a MacBook Pro that I have here. And those 2 cameras were connected to StreamYard. And we could push out to social media destinations or just record, which is what we did on Sunday. And then from our production truck location in center field, the Donkey can add that content from StreamYard into production truck and then give the 2 center field camera shots and the 2 cameras from behind the backstop shots. So it's a great addition to the broadcast, and I know fans from both Roger Williams and Salve were very enthused about the coverage that we gave them this past weekend. So we'll look to continue that again, but let's show some of that footage from this past weekend. It's going to be in this. So Patrick Maybach was the game 1 starter.
Grounded to Checo. He dives at second. Slings it over to O'Malley. Great play by Ciesco.
John Lynch calling a great play by Anthony Ciesco at second base. Here's Zach Bollock at the plate.
He's like the quarterback in the outfield.
Senior from Cheshire, Connecticut.
as he takes that slider into the gap in left field. That'll get past Scalino. Scalino collects it, throws into second base. But Barlock will have a stand-up double here with 2 outs in the inning.
He's excited at second base.
Barlock will await the 1-2.
Leading off this inning.
Swung on into the left field. That's deep. And that will be gone into the Seahawk bullpen. Zach Barlock with his 3rd hit of the day, and it's a big one. That'll be a home run to put the Seahawks up 3 here in the bottom half of the 6th inning.
Bar locked and dropped in the hedges.
Yes.
Right. Catch ropes that into right field for a base hit. That'll score Cicada. D'Amato coming along as the throw will come into Jenkins. Those two will be collected.
2-run single for Dylan Ketch, a senior catcher.
He had a really good couple of games.
Walked in his first AB in the 2nd inning. Ropes that into right field, and that's going to get down.
This is a double for Brandon Grover, who hit a home run in Game 1. Was the first run of the game for Salve Regina.
That was a tough slide.
Yeah. The base stopped him. And this is the final out.
Roman delivers. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. Salve Regina Seahawks are going to the CCC Championship Finals.
So it's a 1-2 count on the batter in the top of the 9th inning. 2 outs, nobody on. Roman on the mound, just 1 pitch away from securing his team a spot in the next round of the CCC playoffs. Here's the pitch. Swung on and missed. Salve will win 12-5. They'll advance to play Endicott in the next round of the CCC playoffs.
5th straight time for the Seahawks that they are returning to the championship series.
So how exciting is that they get to the championship series 5 times consecutively? Nothing in 2020, but from 2016 through 2021, all 5 times has featured Salve Regina in the championship series.
What's amazing about it is that when Salve first won in 2016, they were the underdog. You know, it was their first time. That group, that team, that was a team of, it was an experienced team with some young guys, you know, a sophomore class that was really strong, which ended up has been one of the best classes. That class was so accomplished, that class of 2018. And they win. Next year, they're now the hunted. Yeah. And they handled that and were a buzzsaw in 2017. 2018 was kind of that up and down. It's hard to three-peat. You know, how do you navigate? We expect to win. We know we're good enough, but now everyone's gunning for us. They still get to a championship round. 2019 was it was an up and down year. You don't have this whole wealth of experience. You have a lot of young guys.
You have
injuries, but sprinkled in with some leaders, and they find a way to win. We'll never know what last year could have been, but you're kind of getting a glimpse of it with this year's team, which is, again, it has some new faces.
Yeah, this year's team is a lot of last year's team.
But you have a lot. Now it's incredible that you can 6 seasons of teams, and you've really continued this tradition, and you have experience, championship experience, and skill, and they are still the defending champs. And the way you do that starts with coaching. I mean, that's where being able to recruit the right type of guys and having those guys succeed on the field as well. You can have what it feels like it's hard in college to have a more than 4-year run because you don't have them for more than 4 years, except for kind of this year. You've got guys
and next year maybe.
For 5 years, maybe 6. But the point is to have a run like this, it's really difficult, and it's impressive. They've become the baseball royalty in the CCC, and they're trying to keep that crown for one more season.
Well, thank you, Andrew, and thank you, Gavin, for your work this past weekend. I sent an email to you advancing what was going to come up this weekend. We're going to have to put that on a 1-week hiatus because the CCC Baseball Championships are moving to the following weekend, May 15 and May 16. So we'll have an 11:30 start on Saturday, May 15. Game 2 will start 30 minutes after Game 1 finishes.
Okay.
As long as good weather cooperates. And then turn around on Sunday the 16th. We are going to, we're the host, so it'll be in Newport, Rhode Island. We'll have a 1 o'clock start for...
Where's the breaking news? We gotta have a breaking news. This is major news. That's not breaking news.
No,
that's
not.
Well, that's
It's
more
not-
of a,
it's not
hey,
singer.
chill out on Saturday now.
Hey.
That's what that is. That's what that
Yes.
music
So-
is.
We can practice. Maybe watch some film on Endicott.
They
Yeah.
need practice.
Yeah.
That's the one thing I know Eric was worried about playing this past weekend was the time off, and they came through without the practice, but time to prepare now.
So good luck to Salve Regina men's lacrosse tonight. Congratulations to all of our Seahawks, and especially Gavin Parent, graduating on Sunday.
Thank you.
And we'll look forward to seeing everybody next Wednesday on Seahawk Talk.
Hi, my name is Eric Sorella. I'm the head baseball coach at Salve Regina University. I'm a 2005 graduate from the school. I'm also in the Athletic Hall of Fame. In the history of the program, we've won 10 Commonwealth Coast Conference championships. In my 8 years here, in 6 seasons, we've won 3 CCC championships and advanced to 3 NCAA regionals. I think one thing that separates this program is the challenging schedule we play year to year. In Division III college baseball, there's close to 400 teams. Typically, we're in the top 50 to 75 in strength of schedule out of 400. On top of a challenging schedule, we're also going to travel to Florida each year during spring break. Typically, we'll take a weekend trip somewhere down south and play 2 or 3 more games. We really want to run this program like a Division I program, but within the D3 rules. We're looking for highly motivated student athletes, especially competitive ones. We want our student athletes to compete in the classroom, in the weight room, and on the baseball field. If you're interested in the program, you should send us an email with a schedule and your contact information as well as your coach's contact information. We'll be likely to cross paths during the summer, and if we don't, we'll be able to see you at one of our prospect camps that we can invite you to. If you have any other questions, feel free to email us or reach out. Take care.